sir, how to approach current affairs for the upcoming IFSCA Grade A examination? Because now we have the exact exam date also, that is 11th of October. Your phase 1 is going to take place. And now, guys, in this examination, it is one of those examinations where both in phase 1 paper 1 as well as in phase 1 paper 2 current affairs questions are being asked. Now, how to approach this current affair, and second thing is what should be the sources, what should be the desired timeline that you must follow if you are preparing for this year's examination. Everything we are going to discuss in today's session, guys, so please stay till the end. Now, guys, before I proceed with this video, an important thing for all of you: before you start any examination, we always say get involved into that examination. And how you can get involved? When you have analyzed the previous year question paper. So, guys, we are providing you the IFSCA PYQs for 2023 and 2024 examination, and the link for that is given in the description below. So click on those, click on the link, guys, and get the PYQs with you, because when you have the PYQs, that will give you a clear-cut idea how now you have to approach this specific examination, not just for current affairs but for other specific topics also. So let's begin with the video, guys, and the first and the foremost thing is let's understand the weightage of current affairs in this examination. If you look at the detailed notification, it is being defined that in your phase 1 paper 1 there is a section by the name of general awareness, which will consist of 25 questions of 1 mark each, which means there will be 25 marks of paper which will be coming from general awareness. Look at the second part. It is being said the question for regards to general stream here, there will be questions on general knowledge, current events of national and international importance, economic and social development, which says that the topics related to sustainable development, poverty, inclusion, that will be covered. And it said government's initiative, that is schemes in the financial sector. In total, it is saying that 50 questions here will be asked, which will be of 2 markers each. Now, this is the thing. But look at the most important thing in this notification. This is this part. That is the cutoff that has been prescribed here. Overall cutoff in your phase 1 should be only 30%, which means there is no sectional cutoff. So here, the first thing that should be in your mind is it's not that you have to attempt all these 25 questions, because it's not a merit section here. Overall 30 marks लेके आने हैं आपको 100 में से. सेकंड पेपर में आपको ओवरऑल 40 मार्क्स लेके आने हैं, ठीक है, out of the whole paper, which means you now have to approach current affairs in such a way. If you are good in QRE or you are very good in QRE, so then, guys, your QRE should be given higher priority. Current affairs can be given low priority even for phase 1 paper. If you are really good in these topics like commerce, accountancy, management, finance, economics, you are good. I would say here, if you are redoing current affairs, because here the current affairs will play a prominent role. We will just discuss about that thing also. Here, if you are doing around, I would say, if you are attempting 30 to 35% questions of current affairs also, then also you can achieve this target of 40%. Because अगर आपको 40% मार्क्स लेके आने, तो आपको तो 20 क्वेश्चन ही ठीक करने हैं 50 में से, वो तो आपके इन टॉपिक्स में से भी हो जाएंगे. अब यहां पे अगर आपने 30 मार्क्स लेना है, तो वो तो आप इन सेक्शन में से भी ले सकते हो, है ना. So that is the first thing that you have to understand in this notification. First point. Because that will help you create a master plan. Now, many of you might be leaving this video just at this point of time only कि सर ठीक है जी, आपने बोल दिया कि नहीं करना है, हम छोड़ देते हैं. बट मैं एक चीज अब आगे बताऊंगा जो इंपॉर्टेंट है. इंपॉर्टेंट क्या है? If you look at the number of questions that have been asked, ठीक है जी, 25 questions were being asked. If you see here, the general affairs part, there were 3 to 4 questions that have been asked. The prominent pillar here is your banking and finance section. And when I talk about banking and finance section, here I talk about the general affairs which related to banking. Like if SBI is doing something, if SBI is taking some initiative, PNB is taking some initiative, some normal banking oriented news, which we generally talk about banking news. Is this important? Okay? Then if I talk about financial news, like news related to SEBI, PFRDA, IFSCA, the examination for which you are preparing, IIDI, if it is in news, then RBI. If these are in news, you have to prepare current affairs of these topics also. So that is the important thing, which means if you are focusing now on current affairs also, and if you are focusing on this specific section, this can really boost your preparation. These 17 questions and 12 questions you can see here, which means this is a dominating pillar here if you are covering banking and finance section. So that is the first point you can note with yourself. when I talk about higher priority topics. Then after that I would say, ठीक है जी, it could be general affairs part, ठीक है, because it is just 3 questions, but then I also always say कि आपके 4 to 5 questions you can expect from this specific topic also, ठीक है जी. Schemes are not important for general affairs phase 1 paper 1, but if I talk about phase 1 paper 2, their government schemes are also important. So I would advise to you guys, bank and finance, current affairs, government schemes should be given high priority. Okay, this is about phase 1 paper 1. Now let's talk about phase 1 paper 2. Now guys, this is very important here because we might have seen that there were just 5 to 10 questions that have been asked earlier on. Okay, they were just, if I just calculate this number, 1 plus 3, 4 to 6 to 8 plus 1, 9. 9 questions have been asked, 2 plus 1, 3 plus 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 questions were asked. ठीक है, अब ये 13 थे, 9 थे. अब मैं आपको बोलूं कि यार यहाँ पे भी, which means it has carrying a very good weightage, general knowledge section only. But it's not just about this general knowledge of 13 questions out of 50. It is about this section also, because if you are preparing finance, the current affairs related to finance are being asked here also. 4 questions, which were basically schemes only. Then there was questions on economic and social development also. Current affairs related to 4 questions were asked. 4 plus 4, 8 plus 9, 17 questions have been asked previous year out of these 50 questions. Which tells us one thing, guys, that if you are preparing for this IFSCA, do not just look at the first part of this thing, that is just not look at the phase 1 paper 1. You should be reading current affairs even for phase 1 paper 2 also, because there also current affairs are playing a very important role. Almost here, if I talk about here 17 questions, so almost if I say 34 to 35% paper is coming from current affairs even in paper 2 also. So that says to a student that if you are targeting this examination for clearing cutoff of both phase 1 paper 1 and phase 1 paper 2, I would say current affairs can play an important role. But again, guys, if you are really good in other subjects, then I would say current affairs can be taken on moderate priority, but not on low priority. That's the first thing. Now comes the next important thing. What sort of questions we have seen? We have seen a question on human development report. We have seen a question on SEBI guidelines. We have seen a question on a defense exercise, and we have seen questions on RPI license that have been given here. Now, when you will see these questions, guys, it's an all-around question. So IFSCA is not just focusing on one thing, but it's an all-around questions. Coming to this thing, guys, there was a one question on report. ठीक है जी, report पे question पूछ लिया. It is about financial current affairs. It is about financial current affairs. It's about general affairs. Like the question has been asked for defense exercise, and that is also something that has taken place for first time. Okay, if we go further also, okay, that is we talk about phase 1 paper 2. There was a question on who has been elected as the ambassador for ICC Men's T20 World Cup. There was a question on reusable launch vehicle. There was a question on Beti Bachao Beti Padhao scheme, that is a part of your economic and social issues. There was a question on liberalized remittance scheme, sovereign gold bond scheme, okay, ji, stand up India scheme. So all these things were seen in news, and they have asked you a question on those things. Then they have asked a question on all India survey on higher education, that is in your paper 2 under your section of ESI. Now, what the thing that we are looking at here is that there is no differentiation in phase 1 paper 1 current affairs or phase 1 paper 2 current affairs. They are asking both the things even in phase 1 paper 1 also, even in phase 1 paper 2 also. So which tells us that you have to prepare general affairs also. You have to prepare banking and finance current affairs, that should be given priority here also. And even if you are targeting, because if you are preparing from other regulatory bodies examination, here you must have an idea about the economic and social issues current affairs also. Okay, ji. But in ESI, if I talk about it, there should be focus on reports and schemes here. Okay, ji. Chali. And this is the questions that have been asked in your finance section. Sovereign gold bond scheme, liberalized remittance scheme, stand up India scheme. Okay, ji. Now, let's focus on the next thing. Now, we have got an idea that what they are asking us in this examination. Second thing is, now what should be the desired timeline for covering the current affairs? So guys, if you look at the examination of 2024, it was on a difficult line. The reason being that because there were some questions which were asked beyond the timeline of 5 months also. But then I only say one thing to a student. See, if you are preparing for IFSCA examination, your first target is to just secure 30% in phase 1 paper 1 and 40% in phase 1 paper 2. That's the only objective. And you have to sit in the phase 2 examination. So it's a qualifying examination, and the qualification here is also, I'm not saying it's a very difficult thing to qualify, because you can secure 30% in phase 1 paper 1 also. So that should be the priority here. Okay, Ji? Now, timeline, I would say, guys, 5 months should be given timeline. And reason being that, because if you look at the previous year paper, it was just 3 to 5 months where the maximum questions were being asked. It was not just the last 3 months also. But I would say if you're a student who is really good in QRE, who is really good in costing, management, ESI, if you are really good in that, then I would say your target should only be 3 months. Because if you say at this point of time, if you have not read current affairs, your first focus should always be on last 3 months here. Let's look at the questions that have been asked. So the questions that I've just shown you, Human Development Index, that was asked, that was a news that was in March. Your examination was in the month of September. Now, if you calculate here, if your examination is on September, it is April, May, June, July, August, 5 months. Question was beyond 5 months also. Now you will be asking me questions that shall I read current affairs beyond 5 months also? I would say the priority here is low, because it's not. एक question है, but देखो, अब June, July, August important है. Question on 28th of June has been asked. Question was asked on 16th of June. Question was asked on 12th of July. Which means, guys, if you're a student who is not really good in current affairs, your prime focus should always be on last 3 months here. And this is the most important thing that you have to read. 3 months. Okay, Ji? Coming to the paper 2 questions also. Question was on All India Survey on Higher Education. Now that was again beyond 5 months, because that was, the survey has come on 25th of January 2024. Again, you will be asking me a question now. Sir, reports के दोनों क्वेश्चन ही 5 months पहले आ गए, आप कह रहे हो कि 3 months पढ़ो. Guys, why I am saying the 3 months are important, why I am saying the 5 months are important, there is a reason for that. Reason for that is because you have to clear the phase 1, which is not your merit section. You have to just qualify the phase 1. And for qualification purpose, your prime focus should be on those things which will be relevant for your phase 1, not just phase 1, but for phase 2 also. So that is what I would say. I would say if you are not good in costing, you are not good in management, उस पे ज़्यादा focus करो. Costing, management, finance, ESI, that should be the high priority topics. Yes, current affairs can complement it because it will help you in qualify the paper. ठीक है जी? Coming to this question on बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ योजना, so it was actually seen on 2nd of August. It was not directly being seen, but it was indirectly seen in news. ठीक है जी? Because बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ is a sub scheme of Mission Shakti. So Mission Shakti was actually seen in news on 2nd of August, and बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ was further seen in that specific article. Okay, ji. So which means the questions are asked directly also and indirectly also from the things that were seen in news. Now let's look at the question that have been asked. Olympic, it was the news that was in April, because our ICC Men's T20 World Cup was scheduled in 2024, and it was in the month of April when the brand ambassadors were being set. So Yuvraj Singh was made a brand ambassador, and before, just 2 days before him, Usain Bolt was declared as the brand ambassador. So it was around 24th or 26th of April that this news was seen in newspapers. Now, we have seen that. What is the timeline here? The next question is, what are the important sources that you have to follow? Okay, ji. Now, I hope, guys, till this point of time, you got a clarity that what should be your approach towards this examination. Because if I talk about this examination, again, I'm repeating again and again in this video, that the most important approach will be, it should not be that you have to read each and everything. The important approach क्या है कि आपको सिर्फ और सिर्फ इस एग्जाम को क्वालिफाई करना है. Sources आप कौन से फॉलो कर सकते हो? For government scheme, I would say Press Information Bureau can be an important source. For general affairs and finance current affairs, I would say Economic Times, Business Standard can be an important source here. But guys, at this point of time, the only thing I would advise to you is, आपको इनमें से किसी को भी नहीं पढ़ना है. You do not have that much time also, and you should not read this thing. You should focus on the compilation. That is the only thing that you have to do in the last month. Last month में आपको सिर्फ और सिर्फ this 1 month में read compilations of 3 months on priority. And if you have done 3 months, then I would say if you can go to 5 months also, that should be the thing. Otherwise, read 3 months current affairs magazine, and for 4th and 5th month, Just practice the MCQs and do reverse engineering. Okay, Ji. Now, again, you can see the sources. It was from Hindu, it was from Economic Times, and it is from Press Information Bureau here. Now comes about what should be the high priority topics where you should invest more and more of your time here. Because बहुत अगर आप सिलेक्टेड वे में पढ़ोगे तो आप इजीली करंट अफेयर्स को अप्रोच कर सकते हो. नाउ द पॉइंट इज व्हाट आर द सिलेक्टेड टॉपिक्स दैट यू हैव टू फोकस ऑन. I would say the most important will be if something that is taking place for first time, banking and finance. I would say number one. I would rank it as number two. Then I would say general affairs like science and tech, awards, defense. That should be given a importance here. Coming to the finance part here, I would say this should be always be your high priority topics. Recent development in financial sectors. ठीक है जी, प्राइमरी एंड सेकेंडरी मार्केट वेयर द ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस लाइक सेबी, TFRDA and even your IFSCA is playing a prominent role. And there is something related to news of IFSCA. If IFSCA is in the news, that should always be given high priority. But I am not saying you have to read the circulars. That is something I will not say specifically with regards to current affairs. I would say IFSCA, if it is seen in news, in newspapers, that news you should read. That is the only thing. ठीक है, चलो. Coming to moderate priority, I would say banking system, because they are not asking question directly on the banking system. They are basically asking question on the financial sector, because that is the objective of IFSC also. Okay, it's a gift city focusing on financial sector. So that is the important thing you need to focus here. With regards to ESR, I would say that can be, this itself is a very low priority topic. So if you are a student who is preparing current affairs just at this point of time and you have not prepared current affairs, I would say this is something you can leave. Focus on this part, focus on this part. Along with that, focus on government schemes plus reports, again, which are seen in news in past 5 months. Okay, Ji. Coming to the topics which you can take a risk, can be on fairs and festivals, books and authors. Okay, Ji. Inflation, measurement of growth, that can be the topics which you can take a risk also, that you can even leave also at this point of time. Okay, Ji. So the priority is also clear. We have cleared about the topics also. Now comes the most important thing, that is the retention tip, because obviously there will be some students who will just start preparing for IFSCA. How to retain current affairs. So guys, first of all, I would say the first thing that you have to do is, whatever the compilation you are reading, just give it 2 to 3 readings. I will not say go to different sources. Just read one compilation, but give it at least 2 to 3 readings. That should be the first thing. Second thing is, when you are reading something, make pointer notes, which I say as flashcards. Write down the important points. Pointer notes or flashcards if you can make. If you cannot make flashcards, if you cannot make any pointer notes, highlight only the important points, but that should be done after 2 readings. Third thing that I would say is, yes, if you can visualize, that could be a thing. You can make mind maps, but that's again totally depends on if you want to, if you can do. This is again a part of revision that you can do. Flashcards or mastercards, any one thing, flashcard or mind map, any one of the things that you can do here. Then comes this important part, practice. Now guys, I would say at this point of time, okay, ji, last 3 months current affairs, I would say you must read and then practice the MCQs. Whatever additional information you are gathering, just write it down. Okay, practice more and more MCQs, that I would say, specifically for 4th and 5th month if you do not have a time. Then I would say after that, the most important thing is revise these notes on alternate day, whatever you are making. Do not move towards any other different, I would say, different sources. Do not go to multiple sources. Revise the thing and again, because that can really help you clear this examination. Specifically, the cutoff you can easily clear. Because the objective, before I conclude this video, you must know the objective with which you are going in the examination, specifically for phase 1. See, phase 1, if you are going, you are just going to qualify the examination. You are not going here to become a topper here. So that should be the approach. If you are really good in QRE, again I would say guys, if you are really good in QRE, I would say their general affairs or general affairs can be taken on a very low priority here, because that 75 questions can help you clear the cutoff. But if you are not good in QRE also, then I would say guys, yes, many of you might be feeling that general affairs is a key where I would secure maximum marks. So there I would say your prime focus should always be on बैंकिंग न्यूज प्लस फाइनेंशियल अवेयरनेस न्यूज, दैट शुड ऑलवेज बी गिवन हाई प्रायोरिटी। ठीक है जी, अगर कुछ भी नहीं तो लास्ट में ये तो पढ़ जाओ, बैंकिंग प्लस फाइनेंस न्यूज, गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स प्लस रिपोर्ट्स। ठीक है जी, दैट शुड बी गिवन वेरी हाई प्रायोरिटी हियर। If you are doing these two topics also, that can also help you clear the phase 1 cutoff easily. For phase 2, I would say, guys, along with that the things that you're preparing here, I would say the general affairs part will be important because there are around 7 to 8 questions that are being asked. So that is why if you're preparing general affairs, your banking and finance current affairs, your schemes and reports, they can help you in preparation of both phase 1 paper 1 also, phase 1 paper 2 also. Okay ji, so clear about this, guys, and I hope this video finds fruitful for you regarding your preparation of IFSC. Now before I conclude this video, guys, an important thing for all of you guys. So AeroTap is also helping you guys in achieving your dream of becoming an IFSC officer. So what you have to do is you can go to a website that is www.aerotap.in, click on the courses and click on IFSCA Grade A courses. Now when you will click here, guys, these are the different things we are offering you. ठीक है जी, so now if you're a student who is only preparing for IFSC, guys, and you feel that you have read something, you have read the things, so what you can do is you can go with this test series. Phase 1 test series you can go with phase 1 plus phase 2 test series, and you can go with only phase 2 test series also. If you are a student who is preparing from the basics also, so you can also go with our phase 1 plus phase 2 full video course also, guys. ठीक है, where you will see concept classes, concept notes will be provided to you, will be provided mock tests as well as live revision classes is going to be provided here. ठीक है, चलिए, coming to this this test series, guys, this is where you will see chapter wise mock tests with regards to your components. Current affairs you will be getting here. If I say in test series you will be getting current affairs practice questions where you can practice these questions. If you are going with this course of full video course, so here you will be getting the current affairs magazine also, plus you will be getting current affairs quizzes also. ठीक है जी, चलिए, which would be aligned with your IFSC examination. If you are preparing IFSC with any other examinations, so you can go with PFRD IFSC combo course also. ठीक है जी, that also you can purchase. With respect to the offers, guys, ठीक है जी, the offers keep on changing. So whenever you will visit to the website, whatever offer that is available to you, you can avail that specific offer. So this is all about this video, guys. I wish you all the best for the examination. I wish that now it will be easy for you to crack the phase 1 examination. ठीक है जी, and you will be going to the phase 2, and there you have to put a lot of effort because that is where your selection will depend. Okay, chalo ji. So I wish you all the best for the examination, guys. Keep working hard, keep preparing hard. Bye bye.